To thank everyone here for having me once more to address you. And I would like to publicly express my appreciation to Sandy Davis and the other members of the FAC who have done spectacular work. I'm in pretty much contact with Sandy and I know what he knows, and it is awesome. However, that work is microeconomic. Remember your Echo 101 textbook. She remembers, she's in college. Now, we are in a macroeconomic environment that is going to impinge on the galaxy. You have no idea. I had the good fortune to speak with Peter Schiff. Anybody here who doesn't know who he is? Right. Peter Schiff is all over TV as an economics pundit. He wrote the book, Crash Proof, How to Profit from the Coming Economic Collapse in 2007. Man, I wish I'd read that book. How about you? Okay. I proposed to him the following. I said, I don't see how we can avoid a hyperinflation in this country. He agreed. Now, it's not going to be like Zimbabwe and it's not going to be like the Weimar Republic, but it is going to be like Venezuela, Uruguay, Brazil. 15%, possibly even 20%. The government may not tell you that, but that's what it's going to be, and when you go to the store, you will see that that's what's going to happen. Why? Now, you'll notice from my notes here, I need these notes because they have my numbers on them, and you'll see they've been changed 3 times. A budget deficit of 1.2 trillion to a budget deficit of 1.75 trillion. Hey, try counting that. Taking no time out for sleep or meals, it would take you 55 years to count the 1.75 trillion. But today I read in The Economist that is now, from the White House's own statement, 1.84 trillion. Before we're finished, my God, what is it going to be? Now, there are 3 ways to fund a deficit that you all remember from Echo 101. You can tax people, but saying there are 140 million households in the country, there are 300 million people, 140 million households. Dividing into 1.75, I didn't do it for the 1.84, was $12,500 per household. And what's the average household income? 55 grand? 60 grand? I don't know what that is, but $12,500, grabbing that on top of everything else, you would make 1773 look like a tea party. Oh, wait a minute, it was a tea party. So, you cannot tax. Well, second is to get somebody to buy our bonds. Well, China's been doing that, but China already has $1.5 trillion worth. They're not looking to buy more, and they're between a rock and a hard place because they're trying to maintain the yuan at 14 cents. So who's going to buy that debt? Keep this in mind. Now, I read this story 3 times before I believed it. The third way is to print money, and Bernanke said sometime back that he would keep the presses rolling 24/7 if he had to. Now, what are they doing with that money? They are purchasing those treasury bonds. You all read this. This is like you're issuing yourself a mortgage on your apartment. I don't understand how this is going to keep interest rates down. Now.
1 minute.
Oh God, I'm going to need a little more.
Actually, I already gave you 15 extra seconds.
All right. All right, do the calculation. 1.75 trillion on a GDP of 14 trillion, that's what the GDP is 12.5% in excess. In other words, you're going to have 12.5% more dollars than goods, and this means inflation. My guess is it starts at 12.5%, and whatever multipliers come in there, we're going to see them. We are in trouble. Now, Obama does not know what to do. Tiny Tim doesn't know what to do, and as long as he doesn't have to pay the tax on it, he doesn't care. Ben Bernanke knows only what not to do because he's an expert on this. Now, unfortunately, Obama is doing exactly the opposite. He is trying to fund the deficit by spending money. What does this mean for the galaxy? Inflation makes the debtor king. Because we have money at 6.34%, we're going to be paying that back at maybe 70 cents on the dollar. If we prepay it now, we're paying it in expensive dollars. If we pay it in 3 years, it'll be in cheaper dollars. Believe me, I don't like the idea either. Much of my income is fixed. Now, they are then going to call in Paul Volcker, because that's what Volcker's in Washington for. And I'm sure those of you who are as old as I am remember 30 years ago, the last time Volcker controlled inflation. He raised interest rates to the point where there were 14% interest on mortgages and 20% interest on loans. It was unreal. That's what we're going to get. Now, therefore, I suggest that we use the $300,000. We have to pay $113,000 every month, I know, to the bank. We have about $300,000 left over, and we should be using it this way. We should not be prepaying the debt with expensive dollars. We should be putting $100,000 or $150,000 into a reserve fund. On 6/11, when the balloon kicks in, we will have $2.5 million or $3.75 million in that reserve fund to do with whatever we need, because we have 2 years and a month. Now, use the rest to beautify the building. Cosmetics, I hear people say. We don't have the money for cosmetic things. Cosmetics is what sells. Our apartments are not selling because we owe $15 million. Our apartments are not selling. Look at the office. Greasy, dirty, worn, chairs, furniture that is dented, and nobody even took the trouble to take a crayon. Holes in the wall, and this is the office. The Galaxy logo is filthy. Who would want to live here? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Cosmetics sell. Ask any call girl. Ask any woman. Hey, ask me. Because when I see a really nice-looking girl who's well made up and wearing the right underwear walking down the street, I don't question her credit score. I really don't. This might surprise some of you. Now, stuff like the elevator floors that are just unbelievable. The office, which is a disgrace. I didn't even come down here to bury Caesar. But there was nothing to praise about him. Now, do the hallways, blacktop the garage, automate the garage, prettify the office. These things are things that need to be done. If I walk into a building and I see it sparkle, I want to be a part of it. I don't care if they owe $15 million. They're beautiful. They got something for it. Teddy Roosevelt said in 1910, build it and they will come. It's about the Panama Canal. It's not from Field of Dreams. You thought it was from Field of Dreams, didn't you? Okay. Anyway, point is, you make this place shine, people will be running here to buy. But when they go into that office and see the filth and the destruction in there, of course they don't want any part of it. And I don't blame them, because I'll tell you this, if I had seen that when I moved in 5 years ago, I wouldn't be here. Thank you very much for your patience in listening to my tirade. If there are any questions, if I'm allowed to ask people to ask questions, I don't know what the protocol is.
Thank you, Mr. Engber. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.